There are nice people within every religion. How many times have you talked to somebody that's Islamic and they'll tell you, but we don't follow what the terrorist groups follow. We don't follow that evil ideology. They're not doing what they're supposed to. There are two reasons why some Islamic people are nice and the others follow the evil ideology. The first reason is they're practicing something called Taqiyya, where they act like they're going to adhere to your laws, like they like you, they infiltrate your government, and they're allowed to lie like this to avoid persecution. They pull at the heartstrings. See, we're nice. You're racist for not leaving us in.
Everybody is trying to say, well, let's try to understand these people who are killing, massacring others, the people they don't like, just like flies. But in my case, is to compare it to the most perfect government of the world. In the case of those kind of people, usually there is a tendency, especially in the most liberal circles in the world, oh, let's try to understand them. Let's establish a dialogue. This is something that I don't understand.
Whenever history actually shows that Islam has used that evil ideology and already taken over a lot of the Roman Empire, as well as other areas. The other reason that they will be nice is they're not truly Muslim. Since the 7th century, many areas have been taken over by Islam. And most of those areas were part of the Roman Empire, either the Eastern Byzantine side or the Western Roman side. Iran was actually mainly Zoroastrian, and there were some Christians there, but they mostly were Zoroastrian before. And most of Africa were actually Christian. And actually, there were no Muslims in Africa. And what do you think they did to your families whenever they took over that territory? They most likely slaughtered them, raped them, captured the women or the children, just like we're seeing happening in Africa right now. How many of you have seen all the people getting slaughtered in Africa right now? All the horrific footage. Women getting their arms cut off. Their families getting killed in front of them. Look how much Islam took over Africa that did not have any Islam during the 1st century. And if you're somebody that practices Islam and you say, the other people aren't conducting themselves correctly, we're not supposed to act evil like the terrorist groups. Actually, that is Islam. The evil ideology, slaughtering others, making them convert or pay a fine, and taking over their territory is the true Islam. What you are is your family adapted. People that actually were other religions like Christian or Zoroastrian, those families adapted because they had to. Your ancestors were stuck under Sharia law. They knew what would happen to them if they did not follow and adapt to act like they were Islam. And what they did was they passed down your original religion, if you were Christian, if you were Zoroastrian, and they got rid of the bad parts of Islam. And that is what you really are. You really had your family slaughtered a long time before, and they had to adapt, and they had to take on Islam the best that they could to survive. And it means they hated Islam so much that they got rid of the parts that were evil to pass down teaching their kids what's right. And then they maybe dressed like they're supposed to, or did whatever they had to. But you're not really Islamic. Your family was forced into that religion, and I don't know why anyone would want to stay a religion that massacred your family. If your ancestors are from these areas, this is the religion that you really are. They're trying to take over the world. Please don't allow yourself to break scripture and worship a religion that your family fought so hard to protect you from. And I know that there are many Black Americans that are Democratic. They're using you for your vote to get into power. Do you see how many slaves Islamic people have? They have way more than white men ever have. They're still getting slaves. And they're killing everybody in Africa, where a lot of your families are from.
Muslims to this day are enslaving black people in Africa, saying that over 90% of the slave trade in West Africa was black people and Muslims, not white people, only 10%. And Muslims are the primary reason why West Africans are in the United States.
Became slaves.
Became slaves. and not in the United States, but in Mexico, Central America, South America. 94% of the slave trade that the Muslims sold went into Mexico, Central America, and South America. Only 6% of the Muslim slave trade came into North America, which then the white Christians and Jews fought each other over this issue and ended the African curse upon us black people. And we're free now. We were never free.
As a result of who?
Of white people. White Christians and Jews. The Civil War.
The sweet gay and trans people, they're using you for your vote. Do you know what they normally do after they get in power? They normally slaughter everybody that's gay or trans and they throw you off buildings. They're acting like they're very accepting of you and they're probably giggling behind the scenes, thinking we're going to throw them all off of buildings once we get in charge. They work along with socialists, which is happening right now, to get in charge. And then they're going to end up killing a lot of you after they used you for your vote. Mamdani is promising a lot of free things, just like Ayatollah Khomeini, the terrorist leader that we killed in Iran. We are not attacking Iran, we are attacking a terrorist group. Christian-like people have been held hostage since 1979, and how he got in charge was he promised free stuff, just like they're doing now, all these socialists. They're infiltrating our government, and if you don't hold strong and keep your Democratic Party, they're going to take over our country, and eventually they're going to force Sharia law on everybody. Do you know how upset your ancestors would be if you remained with Islam? Revelation says not to add to this scroll, and Islam was made after Christianity. It says you won't get your place in the tree of life, that you'll be plagued by everything in the book, and not to worship false prophets. Islam never should have been created. We need to look at all of the Roman Empire, such as Constantinople, that got taken over and made into Istanbul, Turkey by the Sunni Muslims. These people do not have good intent in our country, and we need to have them all deported right away. We need to make legislation, and we need to include Marxism, communism, and socialism. They say socialism is communism light. We need to draft legislation right away, and we need to make it illegal for any of those things to be in our government. It's illegal for anyone that's a communist to be in the US government, and they're only calling it socialism. These people should not even be allowed in our government. I appreciate you all watching. Please like and follow, and I hope you all have a great day.